every company has its own titles. So when I said CXO, that doesn't mean it has to be CXO. It has to be top leadership who can fund the project. Coming to the very important section and second section of the core components, that is data quality. So data stewardship was first section, second section is data quality. What is quality? If we have to look for the definition, quality is conformance to requirements. That's it. Quality is not necessarily zero defects. That is an important point, because when we define the charter of data governance, we have to define what is the level of quality we want to achieve by doing these initiatives and how much money we are ready to put in for achieving that quality. Sometimes to achieve the 20% of the quality takes 80% of the money. So is it worth it? Is it not? That every organization has to decide. So quality is conformance to requirements. What degree we have to decide. And coming to what we think is the quality characteristics. So quality characteristics again can be divided into 4 broad categories. So business tools, all the definitions, relationships, domain, level of detail has to be perfect for saying that this is a good quality data. Now we are talking only about the data quality. So business rules have to be perfectly coded. So that is the first part. All the entities, when we talk about the database structures, all the hierarchies, sets, subsets, parent-child relationships have to be perfectly defined. Then we say data is of good quality. All the individual elements, now for each individual element, its status or its numerical value, the accuracy becomes very important. Accuracy, if it is accurate, means it's a good quality. It's complete. It's a good quality. Uniqueness. So there cannot be 2 columns called status and one saying status as dead or alive and one saying status as 0 or 1. Not possible. So if it is there, it's bad quality. So that's why we say uniqueness of any item becomes part of the data quality. Precision. We have to make sure that every element status codes are 0, 1, 2, 3, then it has to be 0, 1, 2, 3. If 4 is coming, then it is not precise for a particular scenario. So precision is very important. Timeliness, time to obtain the data, value distribution. It becomes very important part of data quality. How do we know value distribution? It's through data profile. Also, for related entities, as we mentioned, related entities, we have to look for related elements. We have to look for referential integrity, consistency with business context, consistency when it is repeated in multiple tables. If same column is repeated in multiple tables, that means it is redundant, but still it has to be consistent. Existence, non-existence for related elements. If some element is not existing, then it has to be properly defined. What is not existing? Just I put down 2 quotes from famous magazines. The Wayne Edson, who is director of research at TWI, he says TWI estimates that poor quality customer data costs US business a staggering $611 billion a year in postage, printing, and staff overhead. So you can see in our information world, the data quality is such a huge problem. The second quote is from Mike Whitehorn. He is a business intelligence editor in Server Management magazine. He says, projects don't fail for technical reasons. They fail on the issues that human ought to be able to resolve and don't. Issues like data quality, etc., etc. So data quality is one of the key things any top person mentions as the issues in the information world. The challenges. If you look at the challenges that data quality has, in any organization you can bucket them in any of the sections that are mentioned in this slide. So data quality challenges could be faced because of responsibility, because no single person is responsible for enterprise data. Every business unit talks about the quality for its own business unit only. They don't look at the enterprise view of how the data quality has to be increased. Once captured in operational system, business unit washes hand of further responsibility. That is another key problem. I'm sure all of you on the call might have witnessed this problem in your work life. Savvy corporations adopt data stewardship approach. So responsibility can be taken care of by stewardship approach that I've already mentioned. Cross functionality. So because many organizations are matrix organizations, there is horizontals and there are verticals, and horizontals are not aligned to verticals. So that is why the data management function is spread across boundaries. And that is where data stewardship and representation from right sections of the organization becomes very important. But all these problems can fall under cross-functionality category. Problem recognition. Most of the organizations don't think they have a data management problem. They think everything is going perfectly fine. So companies are in denial mode. It's a psychological issue probably, but that's an issue. Digital. Corporations don't define and assign responsibilities. They don't have formal procedures. Investment. They don't want to put money on such an important thing like data quality. They put money on new projects, new initiatives, new BI work, new analytics work, everything. But nobody has time, funding and resources for improving the quality of existing data which is present in the organization. Also, they don't realize that it's an ongoing effort. This is not one time. You don't set up data governance program once and give it a timeline that, I want to start it on January and finish by June. It does not happen like that. This is not one-time effort. Governance is the name of the game. Governance has to continue throughout the life cycle. And the money has to go into governance as a continuous effort. So, benefit. Now, how do you measure the benefit of this thing is by vice versa. I mean, the opposite way. You measure the cost of unquality. You see, if the quality is not good, how much extra cost I am occurring because of the bad data. How do you determine the benefits? This becomes an important thing for stewards, that how do they determine the benefits, the tangible benefits that will come out of data quality initiatives. So few best practices is what I have listed here, and they may not be in any particular order, but these best practices are again based on experience and books and other things. So I go over them one by one, really slow here because this is a very important slide, I would say, in the presentation. The first very important point is we have to get the right sponsorship in the organization for data quality initiative. We have to seek the support of senior management and identify right data stewards. Right? We have to strive to define the reference data management. Now, reference data management is same as master data management, a little more than master data management. So, reference data management structure at the organization level has to be defined. Efficient reference data management structure contributes significantly to data quality. Define data monitoring process. Now, that is where the continuity comes into picture. You can put the quality, but post data quality implementation, unless you define measures to monitor the data quality regularly, all the initiatives are bound to fail. So that is why there has to be set of processes to monitor the data quality ongoing basis. Strive to address the data quality at the active level and passive level. So what I mean by that is, active level means at the source level itself, because the data is getting originated. The best way is to catch the defect when it gets at the start, at the root itself. So the best way is where the data is getting originated, there itself the quality issues are captured and addressed. And passive level is during the data integration, when the data is going into other systems, downflowing into the downstream system, or getting integrated with other systems within the company, then you can address the data quality issues. So both the levels, active level as well as the passive level, the data quality issues have to be addressed. Ensure extensive business involvement. So IT companies tend to do technical stuff and they don't involve business to come at data validation rules. So if it is a company having its own IT, the business validation becomes very, very important. If it's a bank, then validation from teller or the people working in the bank at every step becomes very, very important of the data profiling. Establish feedback mechanism. Now, if you're designing a data warehouse for running the BI initiatives in your company, then a data warehouse has to have a feedback mechanism to the source system in case the quality levels drop. And it has to be an automated feedback level. So it has to be a control mechanism built in, where if the quality drops, say number of zeros encountered for a particular field increased by a certain threshold, then there has to be a trigger that goes to the source and mentions or puts the report, or exception report that says that quality has decreased in terms of source system. Data certification portal. Now, there has to be a central place for business to navigate through the rejected records. Now, this becomes very important in data warehouse and business intelligence initiatives, where when we're loading the data for first time, all the bad quality data gets rejected. Now, how do you correct that? So, to bring the data quality into it, there has to be a portal which is supposed to be accessed by business people, so that they can say why that record got rejected and what are the measures to correct it. The last is perform proactive data quality audits. So there has to be a team. So in addition to all the technology, all the infrastructure, all the processes in place, there has to be a process in which manually people should go and do the data quality audits on the data warehouse on periodic basis. The periodicity can be decided based on the organization. It can be weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever. Last one is there. Identify data sets with most of uncovered business rules and data quality issues and develop a proof of concept around the same. So this should be at the start, I think. So the particular data set where you foresee maximum data quality issues, that should be the first low-hanging fruit that you should target for doing the proof of concept for improving the data quality and showing it to the business users. Coming to the second topic.